Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Araceli with Stationery con Calma, where I invite you to slow down while I talk journals, stationery, and planners. In today's video, I'm going to go through my Erin Condren Daily Duo kind of daily plan. I'm going to set it up for the week. Again, I mentioned that I really like to in-depth plan daily, so day of, but I am going to go ahead and do some pre-planning because that is something that has been helpful, and I'll show you a couple of tips and tricks that I've started to use, as well as some that I'm going to start using. So if that's something that interests you, please keep on watching and think about like and subscribing. Apologies if you hear my puppy in the background. She is kind of having a little temper tantrum that I'm not paying attention to her. So to start things off, I purchased this insert that has a bunch of sticky notes, and I can't remember who I saw do this, and I think they were just kind of saying like, oh, you can do this, and I don't like the calendar. I don't really see a use. It's empty space, so I thought, I can cover it, and then I actually use this space for something else. So I purchased that, and I have some double-sided glue tape that I use to, it only has stickiness on one side since it's a sticky note, but I go ahead and put it on both and go ahead and kind of line it up. You can white out the bottom so that you can't see through it. It doesn't really bother me that much, so I don't go ahead and do that, but you can if it does. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. So that's one of the first things that I do. Afterwards, I'll show you kind of the rest of it. Let me get my pencil and my pen. So one of the first things that I do is that I write down 3 little circles here. I should have started there, but I guess since I'm right-handed, this one was. So I try to do a meeting a day. I try to do no spend. And I'm trying to go on a walk now. I'm really bad at going out and getting like out fresh air in the winter. So now that it's getting a little bit warmer, I'm trying to go on at least one walk a day. I do go out and take my dogs on a walk, but I want like a 30-minute walk. So that's a goal of mine that 3 main goals that I put here. So meeting, spend, and walk. And again, I find that much more functional way to use that little section. And the next part, I'm gonna keep it open. The next part is I go ahead and I do an AM routine. I know a lot of people put washi strips here, but again, I'm trying to use that space, and I have 6 tasks that I try to do every morning. And I'm the type of person where I have anxiety, I just shut off. I don't do anything for myself. So these are like bare minimum things I try to do in the morning. So one is to take my meds. The second one is to do skincare. And then I brush my teeth. I know one's breakfast, one's yoga. I'm like forgetting one of them. Oh, I try to plan. Again, I do the planning daily, so I like to plan. I do my breakfast. I will forget to eat, so I need to make that something I check off and remind myself. And I love to start with yoga. I don't always get to yoga, but it's something that always makes my morning. And then I skip, so I do 4 lines from the bottom, 5 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I write my PM routine. And it's really similar, but I do skincare, teeth, and then I try to journal before bed, kind of a daily reflection. And then I try to read before. I love reading, and so I find that before bed it helps me not scroll. So then I bought these Crayola Super Tips, and I like to add a little color to mine. So for my AM routine, I go ahead and I highlight it in yellow, and my PM routine, I go ahead and I do it in blue. And just for the sake of doing it at the same time, let me go ahead and do it again. And so something that I wanted to share with you all is that I am the type of person where let's say in the morning I wake up and like I don't do my skincare. If it's not done by like 10 a.m., I'm like, okay, well, it didn't get done today, so I'm not going to do it at all. And I'm really trying to get over that. I'm trying to get into the mindset of even though it doesn't get done before 8 a.m., it can still get done. And so these reminders really, really help me, but they also help me establish what an ideal morning looks like depending on my energy level. And so I'm not sure if you've seen, but it's like, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, I have to count. You can't always give like 60% on something or 100%, right? Like if I feel 100% rejuvenated, I'm going to give potentially like 50% to a task. But maybe on one day, I literally only have 30% to give and I give 10% to a task. That's like a third of my energy. And so I have a couple of routines in my mind where it's like, okay, in an ideal world, I would do this all before I start work. Like, and some days I can't. Like, some days I get up at 5 a.m. and I'm like going at it and do all of this. Some days I wake up right before I start work and start working before even brushing my teeth, to be completely honest. And that doesn't get done until later in the day. And that's just me trying to be like kind to myself. But it helps again to have a sense of like in an ideal morning, what does my AM, what does my PM routine look like? And like what are a couple of different mornings depending on the energy that I have. And I really am curious to hear kind of, is that the way you think? Kind of what does your morning and evening routines look like? After I set these up, I then go ahead and I do something down here. So I like to divide this halfway, and halfway is 4 millimeters. So I'm gonna go ahead and do both. I didn't do that. Do it again. It's about half. I normally eyeballed it and then I would do it completely uneven. So I'm trying to do it. And I'm a huge, huge reflection gal. And so I love to write like morning and evening reflections, even if it's like a line a day. So I go ahead and I put some lines in here because I, again, don't have nice handwriting. And so I really need lines to keep me even. And I also go ahead and put dashed lines in here, but I don't think I'll bore you guys with that part because I already did that for my weekly spread. But again, it's part of, if you guys watched my weekly spread video, I kind of share how part of the way that I'm trying to slow down daily is writing slower and improving my penmanship. And so I include extra dashed lines in an attempt to write a little bit neater. And it's actually been working. Doesn't always work. Sometimes I ignore the lines completely and I still write sloppily, but for the most part, it is working. So I'm really happy with it. And yeah, there's a lot of people who kind of just cover this little area with a sticker. I'm really curious, what do you use this little area for? I know some creators also use it like for their YouTube and Etsy shops. They'll use this for various reasons, but I'm curious to see what you use it for. Again, I'm a huge reflection girly, and I'm huge with colors, so I literally will write morning reflection and then evening reflection in yellow and blue. I hate the way that the coil gets in the way. Actually, after doing my weekly spread on camera with you guys, I think I already know a couple of ways I want to switch it for next week. So keep an eye out for that, because the quill really bothered me when trying to write my like weekly. So that's kind of what I've been doing already. And then my to-do tasks I write day of, again, just so that I have a better sense of what needs to get done. I'm having issues writing things down on here ahead of time because a lot of my meetings shift and plans get changed around. But I do really like the way Kristen Kramer uses sticky notes that she just moves over. And so I was thinking, why don't I go ahead and I do that? That way, day of, I can pen it in once I'm sure that it's confirmed. And if not, I just, move it to another week. So a couple of things that I want to do is I have a lot of perm intake calls. That's something that I like to know on my calendar. So I'm just going to have them here. And Kristen Kramer swears that these are really sticky and they last her for a while. So my first perm intake call is Tuesday at 1 p.m. So I'm going to go ahead and put that here. And then one of my calls already was canceled for next week that I had just written on my passion planner, which I had to white out. So, that's something that always happens. The next one that I have is going to be on Thursday at 9:30. Okay. The next one is going to be on Friday at looks like 10:30. And then a couple of other things that I have week to week are sometimes I have Zoom calls on my own without the attorneys, with managers or whatever. So I actually have one on Monday at 9. Go ahead and put that there. And then I have a team call every Tuesday at 9 a.m. So I'm going to go ahead and also make a sticky note for that. And then I am going to have a joint meeting. I have it once a month. So I'm also going to put that in my calendar. That's going to be on Thursday. Ooh, grabbing the wrong sticky note. And so far I'm loving this kit. So we'll definitely repurchase. Let's see. Joint meeting is Thursday at noon. And then the final one that is also becoming common is we're having trainings on Friday. I hate that they're on Friday, but I think that's honestly where we have the most time. It's at 10, so it's right before my perm intake on Friday. So I'm just going to put it up here. Okay, perfect. So that's a way, again, that I can kind of pre-plan and have it in there. For now, I am having a matching color for the month. Again, I'm not sure if I will continue to just kind of match these colors. I really like the colors, and that's part of the reason I got the Inspire planner. But again, who knows? Maybe when we use sticker sheets, it'll be a bit different. But for now, I'm going to kind of turn on my weekly and see. So at 6 p.m., there is a reading group that I like to join. So I'm going to do that. I have therapy at 7. I'll also click that. Let's see. On Tuesday at 7, I'm going to go to dinner. And then, let's see. I have to host a meeting at 8 a.m. on Wednesdays. So And then I'm gonna try to go to Zumba on Thursday from 6:30 to 7:30. Again, trying to be a little bit more active. And then the other thing is on Saturday, I have a Brazilian and armpit wax at 1. And yeah, honestly, this is most of what I do. The rest I'm going to probably do off camera just because I don't want to bore you with it, but it's going to be literally the same. And then I'm thinking I'm going to come back probably on Monday or someday so I can show you kind of when I fill it in, how that works. So this might be a 2-parter, but it might just be this. So hopefully keep watching and you'll find out what I decide. So I wanted to continue planning this week like I have been. And I'm gonna get some stickers out. So we're gonna go ahead and put these over the calendar. I just don't like to have like space that I could be using. And so I like to do it. I think these sticky notes are also incredibly cute, and so I enjoy using them functionally. And I'm the type to like want to do it for every day instead of like working on each day at a time. Let me know down below if you prefer one over the other. And then on Saturday and Sunday I don't include this just because I feel like I go with the flow those days a little bit more. And so now I'm gonna go to this day. And what I've started to do that I've really liked is I write work and I kind of box it in, and I believe I see another YouTuber do this. I can't remember her name. I think it's Julie Plans. She used to do this when she was still in her A5, and I loved it, and so I'm starting to do it now. But yeah, I really think it's cute. I think it also like visually calls my attention to the fact that I do work basically the whole day. So sometimes I beat myself up for like not getting enough done, but then I'm like, girl, you worked for the most of the day. I had a couple things I wanted to talk to you guys about while we plan, and then again I'm using my Crayola super tip to just do a little drop box, and I think it looks really cute. A drop shadow. There is, well, when I'm filming this, they have kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 released, and by they I guess it's the creators who've gotten the advanced copies of the planners are like announcing it, and they're like sharing their you know, first looks at it. And I don't know if it's just me, but it makes me really overwhelmed to watch those videos. Like I really want to, because I want to know like what's coming and like everything that like Erin Condren is changing and all these things, but at the same time it just like gets me really overwhelmed to like watch all these videos like go live at the same time, and they're all like an hour and a half long, and I don't know, I feel like I'm just gonna take a break and not watch any of them. Also because I think I've mentioned it multiple times, but I just got this planner. Like I just got this. And so part of me really does not want to get lured into buying another one when I'm barely getting into this one, and I have a whole nother daily duo that starts in, I believe it's July. Yeah, in July. So I really don't want to buy a new one.
And so I urge you, again, totally your choice. You can do what you want, but I feel like right about now is during the time where I think there's a lot of like guilt of like, oh, well, I don't have the most recent planner and things like that. And so I urge you, if you still have one that works, go for it. If you want the new one and have the funds to, do it. But just think about kind of what you're doing, I guess, before you purchase it. Again, I've kind of talked it over with myself and have decided that I don't want to purchase a new one. I just got this one, and part of me was also like, oh, well, I'm gonna be making, I just started making YouTube videos, like, will people want to watch my old planner setup? And you know what? Yeah, because I feel like not everyone is gonna get a new one. Not everyone's is an academic planner, and so I'm gonna stick with what I'm doing. And I'm honestly probably not gonna get a new planner until Black Friday, because I really liked getting it at a discounted price, even though it will be outdated, but also it's perfectly usable. And not so much has changed. But yeah, what I really, really liked is that new ruler that's coming with each planner that's more like a stencil. I really, really like that. I would be interested to purchase that. I'm wondering if they're also going to sell it separately. I don't know. Is there anything that you're looking forward to? Something that I've also noticed, I'm like going on a tangent, but I just watched like one video and I was like overwhelmed. But it's interesting because a lot of the creators have spoken about how like this year they were able to choose their planner, which I think is really great, because again, I feel like they should choose a planner they're actually going to use instead of just getting a random planner that they're going to have to like review and like potentially they won't use. But a lot of them just got like a bunch of random things that I feel like they also don't use. And so I think that's also, I don't know if wasteful. I hope they like do a giveaway or something for the items that they don't necessarily use, because I know like one that I watched, she doesn't like carry her journal anywhere, and they sent her like one of the clear folio covers or whatever they're called, and she's like, I'm not gonna use this. So I think they just send them a bunch of random stuff. But there was something else I wanted to talk to you guys about besides the whole like launch craziness that's happening right now. Again, what I'm doing right now is I'm setting up the lines for my daily, and I wrote routine instead of reflection. That's what I get for talking to you guys and writing. But it's my morning and evening reflections, and I like to take time during my day to just reflect on my day, how it's going, how it went, and work on my penmanship while I'm doing it, and in a way helps me slow down. So yeah, what I'm doing a little bit differently again is I'm doing this Dropbox, and then I do this, and then I always write down my core things that I like to do that make me feel good. So I have 3 here, which is meeting, walk, and no spend. No spender. I'm gonna do the next one. And I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying my planner. It's really giving me kind of purpose, and I'm enjoying making videos for you guys. I wanted to shout out my 2 subscribers. Thank you so much. It makes me so happy. Like, you have no idea how excited I was when I got 2 subscribers. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for the kind words, those who have commented. I truly, truly appreciate it. And also just like, I'm doing it for fun. Like, I really like planning, and it's something that I've been wanting to do for a while, and so I finally bit the bullet and did it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, that's what I was thinking about. So I watch a couple of planners in the YouTube community I love kind of their plan with me, and they each kind of provide different bits and pieces that I like to incorporate in my plans. But there was one that I was watching where like her spreads are filled to the brim and she's like really using it, and I'm like, I literally feel really self-conscious because I'm like, I don't really use my planner that much. Like, not every hour is like planned to the T. Like, I don't really have all that much to do. Like, a lot of these creators, they'll have, you know, they'll be moms or doing multiple things. They'll be in school. Oh, I'm like, because I'm talking, I'm making mistakes. But yeah, they do like a bunch of things, and like, that's not me. Like, I just work and try to navigate life. And I think it's important to, if you ever get in that headspace, to just take a breath and know that like, you don't have to be busy every moment of every day to have a planner, or you don't need to fill everything up. Like, these spaces and the pauses are important, and you should not feel like you need to pack this up in order for you to need a planner or use a planner or be worthy, if that makes any sense. Also mainly talking to myself regarding this, because yeah, that's just something that I noticed while I watch some people's lives, and they're like super busy, and like, yeah, like when you're super busy, I'm assuming that that's probably the best time, and like they really need a journal or a planner to keep their life kind of in check. But you know, so do I. Like, I really enjoy it. It really helps me stay on top of it, and it brings me joy. Honestly, it sparks joy, so I really like it. For the sticky notes, I'm gonna leave them there, and then day of is when I'll physically write it in case anything gets moved over. I found that that's been super helpful for me, so yeah, I wanted to kind of bring that up for you guys. But what are thoughts that you guys have? Is that something that you guys struggle with, of like, if you see a little empty crevice in your journal, you feel like you need to fill it up with something, or, you know, a sticker or whatever, or you need to like plan something if it's, you know, empty. That's why I also really, really like it when creators show spreads that they didn't fill up, when they show like either life was super hectic and I literally didn't even have time to go in and plan in my journal, or where they just weren't busy and they're just kind of like, yeah, I didn't really need it. I feel like that is really nice. I like when that's shown. But overall, it looks like the planner community is really nice and kind, and so I'm like really excited to join it. Morning reflection is what I typically write, not routine. And then it's evening reflection. And it might seem really repetitive, but I find it really relaxing. I love kind of zoning out and just like writing the same things over and over again. It's really calming for me. And so that's something that I, again, truly enjoy. So I do not mind going through this and taking my time and slowing down. Probably tired of me saying slowing down, but it's my mantra. And honestly, the more I repeat it, the more it comes to life, because let me tell you, that is not my reality. I'm a very anxious person. I want to do a million things at once. If it comes into my head, I'm doing it. So it has been a mission already these couple of months to try to slow down and take a breath. But yeah, let's see. Oh, did you guys get to watch the eclipse yesterday? Well, it's yesterday, the day that I'm filming today, but Chicago had like 96 or 94% eclipse. I didn't see it. I didn't have those cool glasses. But I did see the cool effects that it had like on the floor and stuff. So that was pretty cool. But I think when those things happen, it's super interesting. I'm a very big like tarot card reader, and so I really believe in like the way that the moon and everything affects us. So definitely felt pretty emotional yesterday, and just have been feeling kind of weird. But again, I blame the moon. Mercury's also in retrograde, so that's a whole nother thing. But I actually daily I bought some stickers. If I can find them, I'll link them down below. But I put like my tarot pull right here, so I'll put a sticker and like a brief kind of explanation of what I think it'll mean in my day. I just like it. Again, just little things for me. And that's what your journal's about, right? Like, it's whatever you find useful. And I hope that I share something that is helpful for you guys, something that you guys find 2, 3, 4, 5, helpful and new that you guys can incorporate in your planning journey. Skincare. Teeth. Plan. What is it? Breakfast yoga. I've been doing pretty good with knocking my stuff out in the morning, which I've been really, really proud of myself for. It might seem like very basic things that I should be doing, but let me tell you, they are hard to do sometimes with my anxiety and just depression. So, you know, be kind to yourself, take it slow, and like take the little wins, because sometimes they're big ones. Sometimes the little things are big wins. I'm almost done with my lines. I love this ruler. I think it's so beautiful. And I think I saw when I was like linking it to my last video, I saw that it's actually meant for meal plan, which I guess the cart makes sense, but I saw it and I was like, you know what? I think it'll help. And actually, in my next video, I think it's gonna be my weekly spread, my week at a glance. I'm going to change up the way that I do it so that I can use these stencils. So take a look at that when it comes out. Hit that like and subscribe and the notification bell so you can know when that comes out. But yeah, I'm hoping to use the date, evening reflection. And then last but not least are my little dotted dash lines. I'm also really excited to see like how my planner journey changes throughout my YouTube life. That's what I really like about watching like other channels, is like how they switch. And like that's super valid of like, just because right now I'm in an Erin Condren Daily Duo, it doesn't mean like later in life another journal or planner might not be more helpful. And so I think that's something that I really like to remind myself of, like sometimes you just need something different, and it might not be for a long time, it might just be for a little bit, but find what works for you and go with it, because that's the most important part. Like whether it is a notebook that you just draw on or write like lists on, I think the most important is like you find what helps for you, and I think what works for you, and I think trying different things is how you'll be able to do that. So I mostly just do it for my weeks, and oh, I forgot to do the drop shadow for this one. And then Saturday and Sunday I honestly leave a little bit more open because I try to chill during those days. I try not to do as many structured things. But yeah, so this is the kind of the last part I will share about my daily duo setup, and then my next video will be my week at a glance. But thank you so much for joining me. I truly appreciate it, and another gentle reminder to slow down, take a breath, and plan it out. I'll see you in next video. All right, bye bye.